Imagine having a variety of hobbies.
Couldn't be me. Nah, actually, that is me. My thing is I can't keep a consistent brand for the life of me.
I feel that.
What's brand?
What is brand?
What
I
is
mean, like, am I a chill, comfy streamer or am I a chaotic
Yes,
mess of a
Strawby.
streamer?
Oh,
No,
Gotta land for the strawbee.
not today. And I can't decide if I'm comfy or chaotic, so it's just somewhere in between. I'm just very all over the place, and I've kind of embraced it at this point. Can't fit me into a binary no matter how hard you try.
And here's
I
the
don't
thing,
think
I'm sorry. Everyone wants to talk at once. Someone else go first.
Comfy. Thank you, Lobo.
I do not think my streams are comfy. I don't know. I don't think I'm a comfy streamer.
That's okay.
I do like comfy streams, but it's not. I don't think I'm capable of it.
Mm. Even the vibe of the stream is like, it's a bit all over the place. Like,
Gotta keep your audience guessing.
it's, yeah, right? But like, how do I put it? We want to raise awareness about LGBT issues while also celebrating joy. And that's a difficult balance to strike. I'm really trying because like we said at the start, this strawberries drive me insane. Like we said at the start, you know, it can't all be like constantly doom scrolling and like protests and that kind of thing. You need downtime too. You need to recharge and remember what we're doing all this for. And yeah, this is definitely a stream I want people to be able to enjoy themselves in. Even if we do take moments to acknowledge, you know, some of the more solemn and serious shit going on, because you got to acknowledge it. But
You have to acknowledge
face
the
it.
bad to appreciate the good.
Yeah, you got to face it, right? And that kind of goes back to what we were saying about my taste in fiction. You know, I really like stories that are able to face the darkness and still confront it and still like find meaning and joy. Like that's what really inspires me. We got some messages
never
in
miss
chat.
a beat. Yeah, I was going to say Never Miss a Beat has a game tip for you if you want to go back and get that strawberry.
Oh,
Maybe
what is it?
It is, you need to not touch one of the walls on your first pass, so you got something to grab on your way back through after you get the strawberry.
It
I
might
don't
be
know if
too
you
late
can-
to go
yeah, I
back
think-
now. Yeah.
We're at point of no return.
Sorry.
Also, Head Kitten says that your streams are great, Ultros, which, yeah, I don't know if they're comfy. I don't think they're comfy. I think I'm too... I don't think I can chill enough to be considered comfy.
I saw a take recently which was like, it was pretty hot-headed. I don't know if I agree with it or not. It's basically like, comfy streams are the type that allow racism and bigotry because they're too afraid of rocking the boat.
Interesting
Oh, no,
take.
that's
I
not-
don't think I agree.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know if I agree with that one, but you know, I understand the sentiment. Like, I've definitely seen like streams and like Discord servers which would advertise stuff like, you know, it's just a chill environment, no politics.
No politics? Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like if your server says no politics, that's like,
Bullshit for one.
it depends, right? Like, if your server is strictly about learning how to make videos in DaVinci Resolve, then sure, maybe politics isn't the place for it. But if it's like, if you're trying to create a community, I feel like, yeah, that if you use the words no politics, then isn't that just kind of erasing people whose existence is considered political?
Well,
On
yeah,
that
like,
very subject, I posted in a server last night that I was going to be joining a trans rights stream today, and got hit with the no politics.
Oh,
Oh.
oh my god.
yeah,
Oof.
yeah.
So, dropping that server.
Bye bye.
Catch ya.
Hi.
See ya.
It was a tabletop simulator board game server.
Right.
Oh, boy.
I can join for that.
Yeah.
I think even if it is a Discord server purely for trading tips on, DaVinci Resolve kind of thing, yes, if people are sexist in that server, that's political.
That's true. That's true.
It's outside the scope of the server.
Yeah, there is politics there. There are going to be women, there are going to be people of color there, and the dynamics between how that plays out is political. You cannot avoid it. Or just practically, do you support people who pirate DaVinci? Because that's a political. It might be an orthodox political statement that we don't condone illegal activity in here. Still a political statement.
Also, nothing against DaVinci Resolve's Discord server. This was
No.
just an example I made up.
DaVinci Resolve, you are cancelled. I'm joining the server now, so if I see any common servers with anyone on Discord, I will block you. So just heads up.
Oh, God.
This is an Adobe Premiere house.
No, DaVinci Resolve is good. You can get it for free. Guys, it's a video software you can get for free.
I swear there are different strains, bro.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Politics?
Politics.
Lack thereof?
Yeah.
The thing is,
I mean, this is a nuanced topic, right? Because, are trans people political? I mean...
trans existence is politicized, but I would not call it political.
Yeah.
It is something that's made political by other folk. And trans people are generally just trying to vibe and to have access to civil rights.
Yeah.
I mean, it is political to be a cisgender man. Gender is political. Gender relations are political.
I suppose, yeah.
And we're at an inherently heightened state of that because we live under the Western colonial binary, right? And that's really rigidly enforced. So our existence is necessarily, to some degree, rebellious, and therefore I don't think it's unfairly politicized. Well, it is unfair that we have to fight the gender binary, but it is reasonably politicized because our existence is inherently a threat to that. But I guess our goal is that it should be no more political than being a cisgender man. Yeah.
It's kind of like everything's political and nothing is kind of thing. But you are right that the trans experience and just being trans is an affront to, puritanical ideas of gender, cisgender, what do you call it? Cisnormativity? The very act of, opposing the binary is seen as a threat to fucking basically the empire, neoliberalism in general. So our existence, is, whether we ask for it or not, is inherently political. But it's not like any of us chose this. It's just we're just being ourselves, and it's almost like being opposed to this is kind of normal because because we live in such a rigid society that to be subservient to that feels so abnormal to me.
Yeah,
it really is a nuanced topic. There's a lot of angles you can come at this from. What were you gonna say, Curia? Because I kind of cut you off there.
No, it's all good. I was just gonna say, it's basically just how social constructs exist, right? It's all made up. It has real world weight and effect.
Yeah.
But it sort of exists in this muddy space where it as once is fake as shit, but also is real and will genuinely affect your life.
Yeah. It's arbitrary, but it exists. That's the thing about social constructs. It's not we're saying it doesn't exist. Social constructs exist. It's just they don't need to. They are arbitrary. And that's the thing.
Money and time are good examples I like to turn to.
Yeah.
Money is fake as shit. That is just made up by some people. But good luck ignoring its existence, and time as
Yeah.
well, like
Yeah.
like what is a minute,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but
Well, there's a figure, there's a hidey hole up here that I
Oh!
couldn't see from the donations.
hell yeah, get in amongst it.
Amongst it. Yeah. Yeah, so going back to the original topic, like, if your Discord server says no politics, I'm going to take that as a sign that you're probably someone that feels like they can benefit from a space where anything political isn't discussed, and it's not a great look. I mean, like, because there are so many people that have no choice but to, have their existence be considered a political topic, and so to be themselves is inherently an act of politics, and so by excluding politics from your community, you're actively excluding people like that. And it's just another thing where, like, we need to learn to talk about politics better and, like, not see it as such a what's the word, inflammatory topic.
Yeah.
We need to be able to talk about this shit, and the fact that we feel like we can't is exactly what is contributing to the state of society that we live in, where there's just unquestioned power and it's just smothering everything.
Like
World's ever changed, so you need to be able to confront and adjust your opinions, priorities. You need to be able to adjust your views and to match what's changing in the times.
Yeah.
You can't stand to some rigid thing when new information comes out saying that, well, actually, things have always been like this. We just didn't notice or weren't paying attention to it before.
Case in point, the rise in people coming out as trans. Like, this has always been a thing. It's just there hasn't been anybody paying attention to it, and there hasn't been the conditions for people to feel comfortable coming out as trans, or even know that they are trans. Like, what do they call that? Like the plateauing of the data on left-handedness.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, kids would just get their wrists slapped for being left-handed and, like, forced to be right-handed, which sounds so ridiculous to me, but that's how our society operates. It operates on conformity.
More recently, just shoving in the special.
Yes. Sorry, I'm getting so pumped right now. That's the
No, go.
strawberry. You got the strawberry, babe. Let's fucking go. Sorry, I completely interrupted there. But,
Go on, Pastor.
Yeah, like autism awareness is being treated the same, similarly to how left-handed was back then.
Yeah.
Teachers don't know how to deal with it, so they just shove them in the back of the class or shove them off into a lower grade and let someone else deal with it. It's not actually addressed and managed properly.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the school I work at is doing much better with all that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
in terms of like, the no politics thing, generally what that means is no non-status quo politics.
Yeah.
Yes. Because fucking addressing the status quo isn't political.
Yeah. If you're just reinforcing the way things already are, that's great, And but that is just the default position of people who already have power, and that's obviously political. But like this, I mean, that just speaks to like what you were saying before, like a real lack of political education for most people, and just like social taboos around like ever discussing anything political. Like it's not polite to talk politics and religion at the dinner table, like that kind of thing. But also agreeing with Phoebe here about like discomfort and stuff. Like my existence makes a lot of people uncomfortable. When I used to work at a highly visible like retail job, like people would be very uncomfortable with having like a trans woman serve them, and would like yell at me and shit, and like it's okay for me to make people feel uncomfortable, and more so like when people mistreat me, I need to make them feel uncomfortable to make sure that like I don't get mistreated again, or the people around me don't get mistreated,
Absolutely.
There is a time and place to make people uncomfortable.
And it's very effective, and like
you should make Nazis uncomfortable, people.
You should make Nazis uncomfortable. You should make your local politicians uncomfortable. Like discomfort is, like it's kind of how we get shit done most of the time. Like it's,
nothing changes if you stay in comfort zone.
Well, yeah, and if your political enemies are comfortable, why would they help you? Like, we've never in the history of any kind of like liberation movement gotten our wins from just the kindness of our opponents' hearts. You know, it's always been
That's it.
because we've made it impossible for them to do anything except, you know, the right thing.
Yeah.
Always requires discomfort, which, yeah. But, like, obviously there's, you know, like, this is, like Lobo's just said, don't make people uncomfortable, which is also, like, yes, like, don't drag people into conversations they don't want to be in. Don't, like, just be really weird about your politics and stuff, too. Like, that's just, like, I think that goes with it. And I think that's probably, like, why a lot of people in the Discords are like, oh, no politics kind of thing, because they want everyone to feel welcome, even if they don't feel, like, smart enough to talk about all the politics or,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think people that are making these rules are doing so because they believe, you know, their heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
But I still think it is misguided to include that kind of limitation, because you need to understand who is being affected by, who is being silenced by making a statement like that.
Yeah.
And then, on one level, I think like servers can just use common sense moderation with regards to those topics. Like, I
Yeah.
do not think saying, "Hey, I'm going to be on a stream raising money for trans rights" is like political enough to get like disbarred or to get the post taken down. You know?
Yeah, I think there would be few Discord servers that would, but if they are, they're kind of being masked off with their transphobia at that point. Yeah. Like that tabletop one, yay!
Yay!
On full circle.
Fuck those guys!
Also, in some cases, not taking a side is also, in a sense, taking a side.
Yeah, that is so important. There's no such thing as real, like, neutrality, really. Not taking a side is usually just preserving, like, taking the side of the status quo, right?
Yeah, yeah, preserving existing power dynamics. Like,
Also, I'm in a video game inside a video game. We haven't really addressed this.
We'll be getting far too better for that.
I love it. Let's keep this momentum going. Head kittens, but if you're in a community of traumatized and socially isolated trans people, perhaps you should be a bit lenient when someone trauma dumps.
totally. You
Yeah.
just got to be able to read these situations, and I guess like for a lot of people, it just makes everything very, very simple. If you can just say like no politics, and then you don't have to really think about this stuff. But I think a good community is one where we do think about this stuff and like who's in our community and how we can make it work for them.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
I got extra salty over though because I didn't actually post a link to the server. I just made the announcement that I was going to be here today, and there's other people in the There's at least one other person there that goes by they them pronouns. So I thought, well, making that just a general announcement that I was going to be here. Which I no, deleted that message and just said no politics.
Yeah, wow.
Fuck
I wasn't inviting discussion. I wasn't actively.
No, you have nothing. You have nothing to apologize for. That's on them.
So, what was my response? So, I shut him down.
As you should. Can you read those messages for me, Ultros?
Lobo says, this is why I think moderation requires a personal human touch with stuff.
Yes.
And the moderators, first and foremost, should be members of the community and mods second. Hell fucking yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I've moderated a number of communities, some pretty big ones, and managed more like. And I have to think a lot about the wording of the rules we use. Sorry, I better not get on this topic too much. I think Trasper is still saying something.
Oh, sorry, just got another one from Lobo here as well. Mods that only descend from the mod cloud to heavy-handedly fix problems should not be allowed to mod.
I agree. You know, I've made mistakes in the past with moderation. I've learned a lot. I've been doing this for a few years now. But what you're saying is absolutely true, Lobo. The last thing you want is a community that feels like it's just a bunch of cops, like telling you what not to do.
So,
Because as it turns out, ACAB.
We have a $10 donation from Head Kittens saying "Girls Rock."
Oh, thank you. I was going to ask you to read that, but you were AFK. Girls do rock. Thank you.
that they do. Yeah, my response to him was, I can't help what they name their stream, though I could have been clearer that it's just games and speedruns. Political though, we have a couple of people in the server connected to the trans and greater LGBT communities. I understand your decision, but I am disappointed.
Yeah, good on you.
Nice one.
And then he follows up with simple solution. Tell us that you're going to be on a stream, and if any of us are interested in watching, PM you for further details. Which is exactly what I did.
Yep.